Good evening, everyone. As we resume on the third day of the ATAL Faculty Development Program, we are once again gathered for another insightful and creative session led by the brilliant speakers we have with us today. It is truly a pleasure to witness such an enriching learning experience unfold over these days. I warmly welcome you all and encourage you to stay engaged and hold your seats as we dive into more informative discussions ahead. Before we proceed, I kindly request everyone to turn on their cameras so we can capture this moment with an online photo session. May I request everyone to please switch their cameras on? I request everyone to please switch their cameras on for a photo session. So, moving forward, today's topic is ideation techniques for healthcare solutions, and we are honored to have with us Mrs. Daksha Marothia, who will be leading this session. I know many of us have been eagerly anticipating this session ever since Ms. Daksha's compelling presentation the previous day. She left us with so much to ponder, and today she is back to share even more of her expertise on ideation techniques. Please join me in welcoming back Ms. Daksha Marotia. Ms. Daksha is a seasoned user experience design strategist with over 10 years of experience crafting intuitive and engaging user experiences. With a strong foundation in user research, wireframing, prototyping, and usability testing, she has collaborated extensively with cross functional teams to translate complex user requirements into seamless, customer centric designs. Her expertise lies in applying user centered design methodologies to solve real world user experience challenges, ensuring that design decisions are visually compelling, data driven, and highly functional. Beyond her technical expertise, she is a passionate advocate for innovation and continuous learning. Without any further ado, ma'am, I would request you to please start with the presentation.
Thank you so much, Ayushman. I would not take much time. Just give me 1 second. I would want to share the presentation. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So, today's session is about ideation technique for healthcare solutions. We would be focusing more on the ideation techniques and discussing how it can be used in healthcare. Uh, if I can think of any, all of you must know this Hindi muhavara, "Dimag ke ghode daudana." If this could be a theme for the session, this is the ultimate theme for today's session. So we would be discussing about what's the power of divergent techniques or divergent thinking. Then we would discuss how do we incorporate ideation or empathetic design thinking in healthcare solution, then we also would discuss some great examples in healthcare solution which are a result of obviously few great ideas. Then there are few ideation techniques that can be done by individuals in a group setting and are obviously the founding step of any solution brainstorming. So we would be discussing about that. Then we would also discuss conversion and idea selection methods, which is also related to evaluating and prioritizing these ideas. Then we have a very small interactive activity. So let's discuss what is divergent thinking. So, like we discussed yesterday, we need to understand how to frame a problem in a sentence so that it talks about what exactly and who exactly is facing that problem and what exactly is the problem. So when you are talking about a particular problem and then you are thinking about a possible solution for a particular problem, so then you need to understand that there are few basic rules of, like, when you are ideating for a solution for a particular user or for a particular objective. The first and foremost is there are no bad ideas when it comes to brainstorming, when it comes to the ideation session or an ideation sprint that you conduct for solutioning. Like, if the purpose is solution, then you have to understand that while you are doing divergent thinking. What is divergent thinking? You think of multiple different things. I'm pretty sure all of you are professors in engineering department. Can anybody tell me, unmute themselves? Rima ma'am, please assist me if somebody writes this on chat. Can somebody tell me the difference between data and information, which is, I think, the first thing we are taught at engineering schools? Anyone? Anyone on chat? The difference between data and information. This can't be possible. You guys are engineering professors.
Khushbu Sharma, please unmute yourself. You have right to unmute yourself. Or you can write message. Ma'am, information is processed data and data is raw data, what we have with us or we
Exactly.
collected that. It may
Exactly.
be in form, image, it may be a numbers, it may be names, anything.
Correct. So while you are talking about data, it's a raw set of divergent data. So when you're talking about divergent thoughts or divergent thinking, you're talking about anything that comes in mind for a particular solution, and it is very broad minded. Then when you want to funnel it down to an information set of point of view, then you converge those ideas and select a few things, eradicate a few things. This is what you do. But whilst you are at the very beginning of the ideation step, you always have to think in a more wider, in a more diverse perspective, that you want to, like, prioritize quantity over quality at this particular stage. So you have numerous amount of ideas, you have everybody's ideas, and then you can filter down to a particular solution which is definitely more helping to the business, to the patients, or whoever you are catering to. So before we discuss some good ideas, I'm again going to poke you guys to, but this should be fun. So let's think of some bad ideas first. If I have to turn any meeting into a more productive meeting, what are the ideas for that? But the catch here is you have to give me the worst possible solution. The worst possible solution. I can give you an example. If I have to, um, say, suppose take this workshop and ask you guys to unmute and give me answers and make this meeting more productive, I would extend this meeting for 24 hours. Anyone? Radical ideas are welcomed, and no good ideas, please.
Arjun Guzer has raised hand.
Okay.
Arjun, you can ask. Ma'am, Mr. Chandra has written, not responding considered as absent to session.
But that could not be productive. Like you have to make the meeting productive, but you have to give the worst possible solution for it.
Someone is writing.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it can be made productive by only make the audience to listen only the audios only. I mean, some
Yeah.
clipping,
Yeah.
only audio will go on.
Yes. That is the worst solution because it is not engaging. It is productive from my end, but it is not productive from your end.
Yes, ma'am.
Ankita Gangwar is writing about quiz. And
Quiz.
yes, Mr. Chandra is writing about everyone 1 hour quiz. And
That is the worst idea.
and Khushbu Sharma is writing making the session one-way communication.
Okay. And is there anyone else? Okay. Now I will ask you guys, whoever has written or whoever has the idea and not speaking it out loud, I understand. So now flip the side. So if say somebody said quiz for everybody for 1 hour, then it if you flip the side, if you want to turn it into a good idea, how do you do it? You say that there could be quizzes, but it could be a one way quiz from my end. Like I ask the question and anybody in 1 minute can answer, not 1 hour, but I flip it to 1 minute. And then anybody who raised the buzzer or like press the buzzer, raise their hand first, they can go first and tell me the answer of that particular question. Then that becomes a solution. So it is one of the techniques where you do reverse ideation, reverse brainstorming. But this was only to engage you guys in the conversation. Now I would we would go ahead and understand how ideation can be included in healthcare systems. So with healthcare systems, obviously everybody understands that healthcare systems are more diverse in nature in a system itself. So building a solution for a system, obviously it includes multiple stakeholders. It includes healthcare providers like nurses, doctors. It includes administrators like maybe government, maybe businesses that run these hospitals, and insurance companies. Then there are pharmaceutical companies. They are also administrating multiple different healthcare solutions. Then, of course, we cannot forget the patients. Then we are also talking about, obviously, I've not written it, but then there are multiple people involved, like administrative staff, not just healthcare administrative staff, but in general, in say particular one hospital, there would be multiple people who are not really directly related to healthcare, but they are managing the system. So a lot of like there is a diversity in terms of who are the stakeholders, who are the primary users. So depending on the clear objective, again we go back to the problem statement. So depending on the problem statement, we want to identify who our users are or who our stakeholders in that particular problem statements are, and then we include all of them. Now the catch here again is you have to encourage a feedback loop, because the risk in healthcare particularly is very critical. If you say do not loop in, maybe if you're talking about patients, suppose, so you ask the need of patients for any particular system, you ask the need of patients, you have a radical list of random 50 needs, and maybe you as a designer, as a developer, as a company owner, you develop that product, you develop a solution, but maybe you're not aligned with the doctor's needs. So there is always, like here especially in healthcare system, you have to encourage and incorporate an open feedback loop. So you have to understand from multiple different stakeholders how a particular feature, how is going to impact all these stakeholders, and come up to one particular solution. Hence we insist that we iterate on every solution multiple different times. We do a continuous improvement session. So all of these encourage one design thinking, which is more like a continuous loop, more like you develop one thing, you design one thing, and then you continuously keep evolving that solution. That is one. And two, this also incorporates like a subconscious empathy within us for whoever we are designing, whoever we are creating the solution for. We are more empathetic towards those people. So all these stakeholders are definitely at more risk here, especially the patients. So we want to be more empathetic towards them while we are designing or creating a solution for them. Now, I would like you to understand great ideas through few solutions. So everybody has heard of Apple Health, Fitbit. Why was this invented? This was invented because nobody was like, there was a problem statement that patients don't engage in preventive cure. So nobody was very much inclined towards, there were few people of course, but nobody, not in lifestyle change, the kind of lifestyle change has that Fitbit has gotten us into, or Apple Health has gotten us into. Everybody has a smartwatch these days, and everybody is very much concerned about their steps, their number of like calories that they are eating. So all of those are preventive care solutions. And this being a problem, we are not just identifying what is the final solution for it. So the final solution is obviously the phygital device that we all have. But if we break down the solution, so here are the ideas, the main ideas that must have been incorporated, that must have been discussed, and then evolved into a particular product. So one great idea, or if we are deciphering the product, the great ideas, what are the great ideas? One is the gamification system that they have incorporated, which engages all age groups. It's more community based, so it encourages people to like have a healthy competition and for a good cause. Then we have behavioral nudges. This again goes back to a cognitive understanding of how behavioral nudges work on people. But a basic example is me reminding my grandmom to take medicine. That is a behavioral nudge, but that is again in a physical format. But if I have to do that digitally, that would be alarm, that would be a reminder setting on your phone. So these are all called behavioral nudges, and these are few ideas that were great ideas in themselves and could have been a great product in themselves. But when put together, it is a great product and everybody knows about it. Now, I would like you to understand, everybody knows about the new age technique, AI, and how it is incorporated in multiple different sectors and multiple different industries have been using it. AI is also incorporated by healthcare. Reema ma'am, please help me understand if I play this, if you everyone can hear the sounds. I would like you to watch this 1 minute video to understand how AI has been like is changing the healthcare environment these days. Can everybody hear the sound?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
AI is transforming every aspect of healthcare, from guiding patients effortlessly through their appointments to creating more personalized, comfortable experiences. AI is reshaping care, capturing notes in real time so doctors can focus on their patients and giving them the insights they need to provide the best care. AI is helping teams analyze medical images to support faster diagnosis and treatment decisions. It's empowering doctors with superhuman capabilities, lending nurses helping hands. AI is bringing healthcare directly into homes.
How are you feeling today? Well, to be honest, work has been a bit hectic, so I've been quite stressed.
Connecting care teams and patients more deeply than ever before. And offering healthcare agents that can keep patients on track and doctors informed.
Doctor, that I am allergic to penicillin. Is it still okay to take the medications? Definitely. These antibiotics don't contain penicillin, so it's perfectly safe for you to take them. Great, sounds good. Goodbye.
And AI is breaking new ground in research, transforming digital health data into insights that improve clinical trials, and allowing researchers to uncover cures for diseases once thought insurmountable, accelerating our path to a healthier future.
So, when we are talking about conversational AI and an AI bot giving solutions in terms of healthcare, can anybody tell me a basic problem that could occur here? Problem or something that you see that's problematic with conversational AI, or maybe a doctor app on your phone, which is AI regulated. Well, I feel the biggest concern here would be privacy and my trust.
Security, ma'am.
Yeah, security, exactly. And then I would definitely have trust issues when it comes to trusting an AI, trusting a machine for my health is something that I would face problem with. And all these companies also understand this, and they are working towards more personalized, more secure, more trustworthy AI bot. So here is an example, the next slide. There is again an example of how AI can be used in a more trustworthy format. So,
Healthcare is immensely personal and highly complex. Nobody wants to feel like they're talking to a stranger when discussing important health-related decisions for themselves or their families. With enlightened AI routing, healthcare companies make conversations more personalized, creating better outcomes for everyone. We've built our healthcare expertise through long-standing partnerships with some of the largest healthcare companies in the United States. In these relationships, we've specialized, adapted, and gained insight into the power of making smarter connections for healthcare customers. When healthcare conversations meet individual customer preferences, we've seen as much as a 25% reduction in average handle time, 3% improvement in first call resolution, and 5% improvement in customer satisfaction. Using advanced analytics and AI to pair customers with agents personalizes conversations, improves call outcomes, and ultimately the healthcare journeys of consumers and their families.
next one is improving patient experience. Has everybody heard of Mayo Clinic here? So Mayo Clinic is one of the biggest leading hospital chains in US and a lot of other places, California as well. Like California is in US, but there are other places like apart from US also there are Mayo Clinics, which is a, a great 5-star hospital. And given that it is such a big hospital, people were struggling to navigate through the building and navigate through where to go, where is emergency, where are the lab tests happening. So all of these things, and um, it Mayo Clinic redesigned their wayfinding solution. So not only did they just had signages put up, but they also had a wayfinding app that was used to reduce the stress for patients. And this, like, again, when we are discussing ideas on like deciphering how would have they come up to this particular solution, we are talking about empathy mapping. Again, we are trying to understand what exact problems that user are facing. And when we are talking about journey mapping, then it has to be deciphered that which patient is going to which particular place, who would want to go to, the emergency center, who would want to go to the diabetes, like diabetic care, patient care place. So all of these things need to be understood in the user research phase while we are trying to understand the users or the stakeholder needs. Then when we are talking about simplified hospital navigation, these are all different ideas. Like clear signage is a different idea, mobile maps are a different idea, then a digital wayfinding tool is one of the other ideas, and consolidating all that into one particular uh, solution is, this is all a part of, like, I'm not saying the challenge and the real world example is a part of the ideation session, but when we are talking about these ideas, all of them would be a part of design thinking or ideation as a whole. Then personalized patient portal, this is again a different idea which could have been incorporated as a profiling, and then it could be then used for multiple different uses. Maybe the problem is just the navigation, but now because we have the access to patient portals, we have the access to doctors profiling, we have the access to where to navigate and the easy path to navigate to that particular place in the hospital. It becomes easier to maintain, manage internally for the hospital staff, that okay, you need to send this to this particular place, there is an operation happening and we need this. So all of this becomes very easy, not just internally, but then for appointment scheduling, to send medical records back to the patients. All of this becomes very easier with one particular solution, and the problem didn't even arrive to that question. So that again is one of the examples. Next example is enhancing healthcare accessibility. Has anybody here heard of Arvind Eye Hospital? Anyone? They were in news like 1 2 years back for bi- what they are doing is they are providing mobile, like they are taking vans and healthcare providers from different. Yes, somebody is saying something. Okay. So they are providing mobile services as in they're taking their vans with well-equipped vans for eye screening. And they're taking doctors with them to rural areas. And they're providing, services like eye checkups, and then like the lenses to them there and then, because the problem was that rural areas and these unprivileged communities, they lack healthcare due to maybe distance, maybe no infrastructure, not a good healthcare infrastructure in their place. So all of these things, these were problematic, of course. And these guys did telemedicine platforms, these guys had mobile healthcare clinics, they had community health workers, which was basically uh, in a particular, suppose there is a rural district that does not have the healthcare infrastructure, the nearby areas, nearby towns would collaborate and then reach to that particular area and provide their healthcare services. Then another example was there was this one particular hospital, Kaiser, and these guys had a lot of wait time when it came to admissions, and people would stay here. So they had a patient flow mapping. It was a you can find this. I can share this PPT with you all, and if you look for the particular, like this particular hospital, you would find that there are multiple studies, and it's a very mathematical calculations that these guys did to reduce the wait time by 40%. How they did it, they had a leadership management, like admin controlled, like a dynamic system incorporated in their hospital. And using AI, using electronic health records, these guys did manage to, like, make a system that and place it in their hospital to efficiently do the admissions. Now, when we are talking about healthcare techniques, there are few different types of healthcare techniques, and it's a process. So if when you're talking about health ideation techniques, or I'm sorry, I was saying healthcare techniques. So while you're talking about ideation techniques, it always starts with, and you can think of it as an organized way of thinking. You can't like stop how your brain works, but you can organize how you're thinking of these thoughts, how you're put articulating these thoughts. So one, why whenever you're doing, like, this is not for just this session, but like in general, in design thinking, in UX, in anywhere, I think, but especially in design thinking, it's not a one man job. It can never be a one man job, because what one person can think, it might come from a lot of biases, it might come from your own conditioning, your own behavioral patterns, your belief system. Everything comes into place when you're thinking of an idea, when you're writing something. So it is always important that whenever you are doing a brainstorming session, I'm pretty sure brainstorming can be done alone. When you're doing that brainstorming alone, it is called brain writing, while you are jotting down your own ideas on paper. But when you're talking about brainstorming, it has to be a group activity where you brainstorm together. So you do brain writing individually and then collaborate to brainstorm on ideas. So what this does is, do you guys know what mind map is? Does anyone know? You can just raise your hand also if I can hear them. Anyone know what a mind map is? Okay, so mind map is basically a tool. I'm really sorry. I'm going back to. This is something what a mind map looks like. So you think of one thought and then you decipher that into multiple different things, or not even decipher, you just calibrate into different ways, different processes. So while you're thinking of, say, any idea, what we were discussing about AI in healthcare. So while you're thinking of AI in healthcare, there could be one area that is thinking about solutioning. Then there could be another area that is thinking about security. Then there could be another area that is thinking about tech feasibility. So while you're doing all of this is brainstorming, brain writing in a way, and then you keep on drilling it down. This is when you make a mind map, it makes it more clear for you to understand what you're trying to think, what your ideas are, and understand each idea very, very clearly. Were you able to see what I showed?
No, ma'am, you are not. You have not shared your screen.
Somebody could have told me this. I'm really sorry.
I thought you are sharing some tool.
I am sharing a tool, but I was not able to do so. I will just share my entire screen. Can you guys see it now? Okay. This is, sorry, this is how I'll just repeat myself. This is how a mind map looks like. So what a mind map does is, when I just took an example of, if you're thinking about AI in healthcare. So while you write AI in healthcare here in the central dot. Then if you're thinking about, there are multiple different touch points attached to it when you're thinking about healthcare AI. So you're thinking about security. That could be one of your concerns. Then what are the concerns? You can write it, drill it down. Then you're thinking about solutions. What could be the possible solutions? Then you are maybe thinking about, what are the tech challenges that you will face. Then you are maybe thinking about what people have already done here. So then you write down what people have done. This is called brain writing. This is another tool for brain writing, which is um, called mind map. So yes, one second. The another, so when you collaborate with all these mind maps and brain writing, all of these solutions, that is called brainstorming. So what happens is, if you have a mind map, if I have a mind map, and there are multiple different solutions, then if you like can imagine the amount of ideas that you will have, amount of features that you can decipher from just maybe a good productive brainstorming session of 10 minutes. Then when you're writing it all down, you have multiple different bunch of ideas. Not a regular one brain cannot fathom all these information in 10 minutes, but you can create that information in 10 minutes if 10 people are doing it at once. So this is how you start the ideation technique. It always starts with brain writing and brainstorming. Then the other technique is the camper method, wherein you are now taking all these ideas and you are thinking about. So if you have say 10 different ideas, even if you are brain writing, which is you doing it yourself. So if say you have one particular idea, Camper method stands for substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, and reverse, which is you take one idea. Suppose I want to, um, what can be one idea? What if Meta comes up with a healthcare assistant? Say that is one of my ideas, and I want it to be incorporated in say WhatsApp. So that is one idea. Then what could be the substitute for it, if I can think of it? What could be the combination? Where can I merge these ideas with? Can I also incorporate that in, say, Instagram? Can I also do that for some other app which is not using Meta, maybe? Something like a Practo, something which is already health related, but it is not using Meta. Then how can I adapt it? What is the existing solution that will give me the platform to embody that feature that I'm or the solution that I'm thinking of? Can I modify this by any chance? Can I scale it up? Can I scale it down? Then how can I put it to other use, which is like, can it just be an AI assistant for me to understand what my problems are, or can it also help me book my appointment? Can it also help me get a regular health checkup? Can it also help me remind me to take my medicines? Then how can you eliminate few of the steps that you have? Now that I'm thinking, I did it in front of you, you can do it. Anybody who is up for like quickly improvising, giving me an idea and doing a scamper method here? Anyone? Any volunteers?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello. Anyone? One idea. We just need to, and everybody can do it. Like we can do it all together. Somebody can say the substitute for that particular idea. Somebody can make a, like, give me the example of how can we combine that. Anybody? Okay. Um, so I was talking about put it to other use, eliminate. Why to eliminate? Because from one idea, now that we have created so many different ideas. Now we have a bunch of ideas. Even in brain writing, even when I'm talking to myself, I had 10 different ideas from one particular idea. Then I have to think of something. Can we do the opposite of it? What can be the opposite of it? This is called reverse. This again is a method. It is a tool called reverse brainstorming. You can start with this also, like how we started in like creating a bad idea and then flipping it for a better solution. This could be another technique. And while you are doing it, so when you're incorporating design thinking in any solution process that you're making, any product that you're making, any user study that you're doing, while you're doing it, once you do it, you understand and realize this, the whole design thinking process, the whole method of ideation, the whole method of understanding or defining a problem. Obviously you have to be empathetic at all times, but then prototyping, all of these things they can be it doesn't have to follow a particular process. It cannot be an agile or like a waterfall model for software development. Design thinking cannot work like that. So a particular problem can with a particular problem you can tweak the process a little. So there could be ideation at multiple different processes. There could be ideation at the first beginning of your user research. There could be ideation before you start prototyping. There could be ideation again while you're developing that particular program or particular product. So all of these methods are basically just frameworks and tool you need to remember while you are doing a particular research. That research phase could differ. Another thing is now we want to understand, because we have so many ideas already, we want to understand how to converge these ideas and how to make a selection. So there are again tools for doing the same thing. You need to evaluate, you need to rank, you need to cluster them together. So how can we do that? There are techniques. Has anybody heard of any of these techniques, dot voting, four category method, or affinity diagrams? We all know what poll and do no, like voting is, right? So what we do with dot voting is, say I have put 10 different diagrams here, or I can take the example of books. So if you have all these books here and I call each one of you and I give you three different voting dots, one say red, one is blue, and one is yellow. Red being the highest priority, blue being the second priority for you, and third being the yellow being the last priority. That even if you don't want, you can skip that last voting thing. So when I give you all three different voting, dots, and I give you multiple different choices, and then I ask each one of you to put all these three dots on your particular choice of ideas. So here in this example, I just took an example of books, but if you have 100 different ideas listed on a board and I call 200 people to vote for those ideas, now what happens is we have a clear classification. There will always be a clear classification, trust me on this. There is no edge case scenario or in this. People generally tend to select same things generally, like the same ideas work for the masses, and that is always the case. You can do this experiment whenever you want in your class also. So when you do these dot voting exercise, you come up with and you filter down a lot of ideas which are not of use. So all the ones with yellow and like maximum yellows, they are again wasted. So you can park them for the parking lot. Maybe they are of use later. Maybe they are not of use for this particular problem statement. So all of these things happen and keep happening. And the ones with the red dot, most red dots, become your top priority features. Then how do you classify them more? So you have from 100, you have filtered down to or boiled down to 40 features that we still have and we still want to use. And from them, there are 10 features with the red dot, which is the priority item. But you cannot have top like three priority tasks for one app or one solution. So one thing to keep in mind, this is just a like tip. Whenever you are making a product, it generally is a like a rule of thumb that you keep three tasks, which are the priority task for those particular like that particular app. So we want to drill it down to again three features. Now, how do we do that? There is again a method called four category method. We put that into a matrix, which is the from all these 10 or all these 40 ideas, which are the most rational ideas, which are most likely to delight, more pleasure generating, more engagement oriented, which could get more users to consume that particular product. Then we think about what is the most favorite idea of all for everybody. So maybe the red dots could have a where somebody has like all 10 people or 20 people have selected one particular idea, that becomes your darling idea. That is, you don't want to get rid of that. Then you also need to analyze from all these ideas what is the most radical futuristic idea, and you want to, I'm not saying park it down, but understand its technical feasibility most importantly, and its uh, placement in today's world. You might be thinking 10 years ahead of your time, and whatever you come up with might not be able to work. Even if it is technically feasible, it doesn't work with today's society, it doesn't work with today's users. So these are long short ideas which you want to also again understand. Then affinity diagrams are nothing but more like understanding how can we merge two or three different ideas together, or whatever comes into proximity together. So there could be multiple different ideas which like a lot of people must have suggested, but they are very much similar, and if we think more to it, you can club those ideas together. There could be three ideas that could be clubbed into one idea. So all of these things are then boiling down the the board of ideation, and you are then left with smaller number of ideas to work with and conceptualize, which is your next step from in design thinking. So to conceptualize, you need to understand what is the exact scope, what is the exact feature that you are going to be working upon. So this converging techniques, these selection methods, they give you that converging point to funnel your like different ideas and wide range of ideas. Then again, another like evaluating and prioritizing technique is you need to have a selection criteria. So one of the major things is how it is, like this is one of the major things for me, or like any person who is very passionate about what you're giving to the user, would be if your solution or the ideas, all the ideas that you have now selected and boiled down to, let's take a number 15. So there are 15 ideas which now you have boiled down from all that method. If you have all these 15 ideas, all these 15 ideas should align to your problem statement. If your problem statement differs in any which way from all these different features that you have, or all these different ideas that you want to build, then again we have a gap, and we need to bridge that gap. So this is one thing, user needs and demands. You also need to understand the users need, the maybe it could be patients need, maybe it could be doctors need. So when you're writing down these personas, when you're making these personas, you need to understand what are their wants, what are their needs, what are their requirements, what are they seeking out of a particular solution, are they even seeking that particular solution. So all of that understanding needs to be there. Then again, feasibility, budget, resources, and approval and scalability is the secondary part, but a very resourceful part of the equation, but it also is there. How do we do that? So one of the major techniques is now, wow, how metrics, which lets us categorize now these 15 ideas into impossible to implement, easy to implement. This is one, like just a template into understanding what is the normal idea, what is the original idea. Now how to categorize it into like what is easy to implement, what can be done right now, what can be done later. So this all, like it is just an organizing tool. Then while we are talking about organization, we also need to think of, so six thinking hat is another method. While you're thinking, like me, if I'm thinking as Daksha, I would have my particular biases, I would have my particular conditioning, I would have like all these cognitive data points that would define me as a person. So all that would obviously play a role while I'm thinking of a solution. It could be very subjective, basic understanding. It could be very subjective solutioning. It could be very subjective preference also. So while I'm doing that, I as a service provider, as a designer, as a developer, as a consultant, what my moral should be, I need to be I need not be biased. Firstly, I need to be very rational. I need irrational. I need to be very like on point in terms of understanding what solutioning is required for that particular problem. So six thinking hat is a method wherein you do a role play. So if you are a bunch of people, say 12 different people, two people can wear white hat. It's a metaphorical hat. So two people can wear a white hat where you are understanding, like we are where you're thinking from a lens of facts and data. So you only think about facts and data, you only talk about the numbers, you only talk about the statistics, you only talk about what what is the actual data saying, what are the facts around this particular problem, and what how can this be a solution for that in a plain number format, in a plain facts format, data format. Then there could be two people who can wear the yellow hat, who can understand what are the positives, what are the benefits of this particular solution. If we do uh, get this into fruition, how can this benefit the masses, how can this benefit our users. Then somebody can wear the black hat, where they could be only very notorious in terms of thinking what could be the risk in this particular feature, what could be the challenge that we face in this particular feature. Which, like, the black hat is obviously very, very important when it comes to any design sprint, any design thinking workshop, any ideation workshop, because it eradicates the risk for later. So if there are two people who, like, there is somebody who can pinch and point out the problem in everything, it's a good thing here, because then me as a designer, I would eradicate that problem from the solution. Then somebody could wear a red hat, which is more emotional, which is more sensitive, which is overly sensitive for the user, which could be overly empathetic and give me more ideas in terms of how can I make that particular feature more nourishing, if I can call a feature that. Then similarly, there are green and blue hats, which are more process oriented, more like radically creative. So this is the basic understanding of how ideation works. You first let loose of all your dimag ka horses, and then you control them, you organize them, and you come up with a solution. Now we'll just do a simple activity again. And I would please request you all to speak up a little, talk about it a little. So we have six ideas of apps here, and I would like each one of you to. So the idea is we list down five different features for a particular app, and then, like, one by one we go through. I have only written three for now. I am not sure about the time, what and the time constraint. So I've only jotted down three for now, uh, like for this activity, but we can increase it if we get more engagement. So the idea is, say, AI powered patient diagnosis assistant. This is, if this is going to be an app, can we get five ideas from the audience, and I can keep writing it down, that those could be like used for this particular solution. Then I'll give you 1 minute time, and we can do a quick dot voting from these five features. What are the two features that you would want to prioritize? It could be just an activity, we don't need to have a solution right here right now, but just to understand what we want to, like, where we are coming from, and to roll back to what we just learned. I would just want to open the floor now for this particular activity. AI powered patient diagnosis assistant. This, can anybody give me an idea for it? Any idea?
You translate doctor-patient conversation to text and summarize the disease or diagnosis result in a few sentences.
These are two different. Okay. Once again, so translate the prescription.
Conversation. Translate the
Conversation itself. With the
doctor-patient conversation and record it for a later reference.
Ma'am, one participant has written, Miss Ankita Gangwar, taking consultation online.
Okay, and record. I have one pipeline. Sorry, ma'am. Uh, Summarize the. You said, sir. Summarize
Summarize
the
observation, diagnosis
diagnostic. Right.
result with the flexibility for which enable doctor to even edit that actually.
Okay, that's a
Ma'am,
great.
Rajgopal has raised hand.
One. Yes, Rajgopal, sir.
Okay. Maybe by mistaken he raised hand. Taking consultation online. One idea by
Yeah,
Miss
yeah.
Ankita Gangwar.
Taking online consultation. Yes.
Yeah. The next one, comparing the current diagnosis with previous visits and show actually like whether it is disease is getting cured or progressing actually. Some kind of insights.
Anyone else? I need one more.
Yeah. Then giving the prescription both medical as well as lifestyle related. So
You want AI to do like do
yeah, but still the doctor have flexibility to review it and no confirm. So
Ma'am, one more participant has written comparison with previous data. Dr. Rimple has written. And
it's
Dr.
already there. Sir has already said this. Compare the diagnostics from
Okay.
previous health records. If she's saying something else which I need to include, please let me
One
know.
more participant has written the same thing using historic data.
Yes.
Mr. Shalin Mishra has written intellectual enhanced understanding between the relation between patient and doctor, such as for disease to its diagnosis. Should I repeat again?
Yes, please.
Intellectual enhanced understanding between the relation patient and doctor, such as for disease to its diagnosis.
Does that not come under like translating the patient conversation?
Yeah.
Can help to
Yes.
diagnose disease at earlier stage, ma'am?
Yes. Oh, okay.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes.
How do we get help from this app to illiterate persons if we talk about Indian scenario?
Okay. Flexibility. That is one problem statement in itself. One second, ma'am. Will forget for sure. Lifestyle prescription. You have a solution in your own question, ma'am. Can can anyone think of it? She said that how do we make it more user friendly and if the users are rural patients?
Then it is translation of voice to
Exactly. Exactly. Language translation is one of the key feature. Okay. Do we have any more ideas?
yeah, giving some trend graphs.
Sorry. Giving?
Trend graphs, how disease is progressing. So
Okay.
graph.
I'm sorry, I'm not equipped with the word. What's the word? Can somebody spell it?
Trend graph.
trend
Trend
graph.
graph.
Yeah, it could be based on vitals.
Okay, so Okay, got it. Now, and I didn't think of this one. Can anyone, or all of you are open to do so, can anyone tell me how many features now could be combined, and which and which? I can think of three.
Dr.
Madam,
Shruti,
hello, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Combining the previous records with the current records and getting it to, and that can be given as a trend graph also associated with it. Those things can be combined.
You said
Yes, trend
combining
graphs and the
trend graphs.
comparison of the diagnostic from the previous
Yes.
findings.
Yes.
That those two can be combined. That is like a, this is written form and this is a graphical representation
Yes.
of the same.
Yes. I agree. Any objection from anybody? Or I'll do it.
Yeah, it's I do agree, but it is not exactly combining, but it's a set of features, related features kind of thing we can map.
So all we are not saying that these would merge into one feature. So if you remember what we learned here, the affinity diagrams, it is basically clustering similar features together so that we think in one direction. So if you think about, like, if I think right now of
Yeah.
this as an app and then solutioning, obviously these two could be put into one thing. So where we are seeing the patient profile and I'm seeing the previous diagnostics, definitely I would want to see a section where I'm also seeing the trend graph.
Yeah.
But this could be combined under one platform. Obviously it is for later stage to conceptualize how that page looks like, how that section looks like. There could be multiple different pages in it, but we need to just, like, with in terms of ideas, we need to club similar ideas. Obviously while you are conceptualizing these ideas, also there might be cases that you take one away from here and put it into a different category. Absolutely okay. But right now, if you can think of anything which can be clubbed or which can be put together, like
The
within
translate
one.
patient conversation with the doctor and record that one, and language translation.
Yes, that is definitely. I'll just color code these. Just give me one second. And this 77. Yes. Anything else? I can still think of more.
Someone has written, Miss Ankita Gangwar again, X-rays, MRI are more advanced for taking appropriate steps in towards the diagnosis of disease. Why she has written?
And okay, I understand that could be her concern of security, or her concern, her question on the like AI powered engine, that it could not be as accurate as a human doctor to decipher what the problem is, if I'm correct or understanding correctly.
She said yes.
Okay, so that could be a concern that you have from this particular app. And how do you, okay, now that we have a concern also, but because we were thinking about ideas um to make a feature, now that you have already raised concerns on, is the, like, is like, how can a person trust an AI powered engine of for diagnostics?
Hello.
Hello, does anybody have a solution which we can write here as a particular feature, or anything that could be a probable solution to build that trust factor?
Yeah, doctor always review the results from the tool and confirm. Then
And
only
if
it's
I think
possible.
about, if I think about her concerns, you are in the back end, you are absolutely correct that doctor is reviewing all the time. Doctor is Doctor has the flexibility to edit all the diagnostic results, and definitely there is a process that how do I as a patient still trust an app? Anyone?
Yeah, prescription comes with the doctor signature.
That could be one idea. There could be another idea, or at all times, if you're transparent with in the app, if there is transparency, which means you are always at all times stating that the maybe if you're giving trend graphs, every time there is a script that says that it has been reviewed by the doctor.
Yes.
Just that
Yes.
one statement would make a lot of difference.
Yes.
Maybe like a simple face of your doctor, of your like somebody who you go regularly to or you visit regularly. If you see that familiar face, and in quotes you just write that I have reviewed this report. If I see that on
Yes.
the app, I will have trust. I will always have that trusting factor or building trust on the AI engine. Does that
Yeah,
answer?
another best thing, generating prescription in a typical doctor style of writing.
That would be difficult to decipher. I am pretty sure people would be thinking of making another app to decipher what the prescription is saying. Only the pharmacy people understand. Can we summarize anything else, or like combine more things? Do you think we can combine give medical and lifestyle prescription, take online consultation, and summarize diagnostic results in one, or maybe not this, but compare and summarize? This could be one.
Yeah, instead of that, taking online consultation and translate the
Yes.
patient's conversation to some extent, but not really, because taking on online consultation and translate patient conversation to some extent group touch can be grouped.
Okay.
Because
So
even
take
during
online
online conversation,
consultation.
also same kind of recording going to happen. So
Yes. And then do you also think that diagnose diseases at early stage and giving trend graph is somehow related?
yeah, yes, but yeah, after trend graphs, diagnosed diseases at early stage would get derived out of it. And
You
clubbed.
can then see what
Yeah, it can be clubbed,
I
ma'am.
missed. It can be clubbed. It can also
Clubbed, yes.
it can also, like, on a different note, it can also remain as one of a standalone feature, and whenever this occurs it is like a prominent feature, because trend graph might again derive like an early stage disease which is not seen, and if the doctor reviews the trend graph, he might say that these are the early symptoms of maybe you're pre-diabetic, something like that. So all of these things could be highlighted in trend graph, and also could come from, say, a new diagnostic that has been done. So all of them, I would, like, in my opinion, I would rather let it be a standalone feature. But it is interrelated for sure. Like this is related to this also, this is related to this also. Do you understand
They
how
come in
mind
a
map functions?
sequence, ma'am. Actually, so wherein compare going to happen first. Okay, then from out of it, the trend graph will be created. Once based on the trend graph, so one will suggest actually, like, derive whether it is any early symptoms.
Okay. Would this make sense? Okay, so you guys get the basic idea of how the ideation works. Should we move to next app, or do we want to delve more on that?
And usually, thus early diagnosis of any of the condition
Hmm.
may or may not be related to the diagnostics.
Exactly.
It
That's why
can
I
be
said
on a
that
clinical
a
examination,
standalone feature.
even the standalone feature that a clinical examination will tell about the yes, this is the incipient one. Suppose any precancerous conditions, nothing will
Hmm.
come into the lab diagnosis, right? So it is
Oh,
still beyond the things like leukoplakia we have,
yes.
or which is seen on the skin or a mucosa, some alterations, which is a purely a diagnosis, at a preliminary diagnosis by the doctor first, and then go to a biopsy, and then to any lab test or something like that, markers or something.
Definitely, it depends on like the condition, of course. But because you spoke about cancer, there is a case study that an AI-driven machine was able to. Obviously, it is not a case for everybody, but it is one case study that in US there was one patient, and I think it was an infant of and not even born, if I'm correct. So there was a case where the doctors and the AI system that was diagnosing that particular woman was able to diagnose that this person who is not even born yet would have these many diseases, and cancer was one of the possibilities in that diseases, and that happened. So AI does have the possibility to do all of these with maybe not much accuracy at this point of time, but it is going there, not to scare
Yes.
anyone.
Actually, madam, what all the things have happened till now, and what is the data which has been given to that particularly machine, that
Hmm,
makes the permutation and combination, and that gives like
exactly.
it is not
Exactly.
always possible that there are so many factors to be taken into consideration.
Exactly. Exactly.
That
So
that will
again,
be missing by AI.
110%, you're absolutely correct. So while we are thinking about the ideation for these things or any system, again, when we are ideating upon and pondering upon the idea in itself of a particular solution, like so, we need to understand now, again, when we are thinking about, we just had this one idea where we are no collaborating different. I'm so sorry. Where did I write it? Yeah. No. Yeah. So include nurses, doctors, administrators, and even patients. So while we are talking about all these multiple different stakeholders, here with administrator, we are talking about the tech feasibility, which is the AI engine, the LLM engine we are talking about in particular. So when we are doing the user research, it becomes absolutely important, especially in systems like these, and especially in healthcare, that we do an extensive research on what are the needs, what are the possible solutions, what are, so when it comes to AI, what are the tech feasibility, what is the accuracy, what are the patients like trust on a particular system. So all of that comes from user data. Obviously we are just assuming things here while we are ideating and writing all these things. If we come from a standpoint where we do have data, where if I have suppose spoken to 100 different doctors, then I would have more insight in terms of what is doable, what is not doable, how, if I can give these trend graphs or not, if I can do this diagnostic and at an early stage, and I would be very confident in terms of arguing also. So all of these, that confidence comes from your user research, which is very very important. I don't think we have time for the other two apps, but I hope you get the gist of what we are trying to understand in terms of ideation here. So, Rima ma'am, that is all for my session today. If there are any questions, I leave the floor open.
Participants, you may ask questions.
Hello.
Yes, Chandra sir.
Ma'am, actually, can you send some case study based books on this topic?
It's a like I can hear your voice is very muffled. Can you speak again? Thank you, sir. I heard case study, but was anybody else able to understand what did he say?
आयुष्मान को बोल
अभी
देना.
बात
Does anyone else have any question?
Green Maria has a question, I think.
நீங்க எடுத்துட்டு போங்க வரமா.
Okay, I will suggest case studies.
எடுத்துக்கோ.
Chandra sir, I'll share this PPT with Reema ma'am, and she can like by the end of, I'm pretty sure you would be circulating the presentations, so I can share it with her, and I would include resource links. Green
Good
Maria
evening.
has. Yeah, I asked, but
I think Dr. Sangeeta want to ask something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening,
It
ma'am.
was such a nice session. Ma'am, I just want to know that is there any provision to prepare a case study for healthcare awareness program? Because ma'am, some people's hide their disease like TB, MDR, XDR, like say they don't want to expose their disease in front of the people due to lack of awareness.
Yes.
So is there case study, maybe case study, so that we can implement that kind of case study, such plan, so that people can aware about the some disease like TB, XDR, FDR, so that people can reveal their disease, that because people hide their disease like TB because of lack of awareness of the people about this disease. So is it may be possible to implement this kind of case study?
Definitely. So it's not just about, I've in my understanding, case study is not the right word, because not a lot of people read. If people would have read, they would have read about
Yes.
exactly.
So it may be
when
problem
you are-
definition, ma'am.
So your problem definition becomes, in this case, your problem definition becomes awareness of a particular
Yes,
disease.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Any disease. So when you're talking about awareness, there could be multiple different areas of how to promote awareness. There could be marketing campaigns. There could be maybe just a poster would help. Maybe an ad would help. Maybe you are doing an awareness program. Maybe you're going to say, like, somebody who is as an activist, if you want to do this, I would rather want to go to maybe rural area, take a session, educate people on it. So these are multiple different ideas wherein you can understand how you want to like impart that knowledge of yours. Obviously,
What will be the role of AI agent? Just tell us, ma'am, about the role of AI agent to awareness of the these kind of disease.
it could be merged in any healthcare solution. Suppose if, like, how we were discussing the AI powered diagnostic system, if you want to I can just think of a home page wherein, like, you have news sections, you have did you know sort of sections in any app, and then you write about these things. Say 40% of people in your county are going through the same problem that you are going through. Are you having these many symptoms? Then you can name the symptoms, which are very common symptoms found in that particular disease. So these could be the ideas wherein, like, very small things, how you can improve and like aware people. of such things.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Anybody else? I saw Bhagyashri also had some questions, and I'm late. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so we conclude on behalf of all attendees. I extend my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Daksha for that insightful and engaging presentation on ideation techniques for healthcare solutions. Your
Sorry,
expertise and
ma'am.
passion.
Ayushman,
Yes,
ma'am is
ma'am.
Miss Daksha Marothia. Please pronounce correctly.
Sorry, ma'am. Mrs. Daksha Marothia, for that
Again,
insightful.
Miss Daksha Marothia, Ayushman.
Miss Daksha Marothia, sorry, ma'am. Your expertise and passion for this topic truly shone through, and you have given us all a lot to think about. It provided a practical framework for us to approach the challenges we face in developing innovative healthcare solutions. I know I speak for many when I say that I left feeling inspired and equipped with new tools to tackle these challenges. The questions and discussion that followed your presentation were a testament to the audience engagement. Your thoughtful responses and willingness to share your knowledge further enrich the experience for everyone. It's clear that you speak a real interest in exploring new and creative approaches to healthcare innovation. We truly appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight and share your valuable insights. Your contribution to our understanding of ideation techniques in the healthcare sector is invaluable, ma'am. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you
Now
so
we
much
will wait
for
for a few
having me.
minutes. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah,
Ayushman,
sure, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
our next resource person has been joined us. Welcome, Pravin sir.
Sure, ma'am.
Make him co-host, please.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So, shall I start or?
Just a minute, sir. Ayushman
Okay.
will introduce first, then we will continue.
Hmm.
Ayushman, are you there?
Just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am. So let's move forward to our next session, which is based on concept development and prototyping, which is going to be given by Dr. Pravin K. Singh. Let me just give a short introduction about our speaker of the day. So he's a scientist in Institute of Advanced Materials, IAAM, Sweden, with 10 plus years of experience. He completed his PhD from Department of Physics and Material Science, Madan Mohan Malviya University of Technology, Gorakhpur, India. He was awarded with Best Paper Award in 5th IEEE Uttar Pradesh Section International Conference on Electrical, Electronics and Computer Engineering. He is also awarded with Best Poster Presentation Award. Dr. Praveen's research areas include self-powered, high-performance, piezo, tripdo, pyro, electric nanogenerators, and photovoltaic cell for energy harvesting and SPR sensor uh, actuator. His proficiencies are in pallet machine, computational simulations. He had a great experience in teaching also. He had worked as an assistant professor in KIPM College of Engineering and Technology, Gorakhpur, and also even as a guest faculty in MMM University of Technology, Gorakhpur. So, sir, I request you to please start your session, which is based on concept development and prototyping. It's all over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for a brief introduction about me. So I'm just going to share my screen. Just a minute. So please let me know if it is in full screen and visible to all.
Yes, sir, it
Is
is
it?
visible. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So good afternoon or good evening, everyone, from where you are. Actually, it is 3 o'clock in Sweden, and today it is a very good sunny day. Actually, rarely we found sunny day in Sweden. And since it is winter time right now, and now we are shifting to the summer. So luckily I just got, summer day. So you can see the sunny screen on my face sometimes. Okay, so it is a great honor to be here at the AICTE ATAL Faculty Development Program and hosted by Global Institute of Technology, Jaipur. And first and foremost, I want to extend my gratitude to the organizers for inviting me to speak on such an important topic, concept development and prototyping. And I would like to thank Professor Rima. Means he was continuously reminding us from the last 3 months, I think, and so that we can just, if anywhere in means out of country, we can just remind like we have a presentation or we have invited talk. So thank you so much. And so now healthcare innovation is an ever evolving field, and where new technologies, methodology, and interdisciplinary collaboration are basically shaping the future of medicine. So today I will talk about the journey of concept development and prototyping in healthcare. So how we identify needs, generate solutions, and build prototype and refine them into real world applications. So the goal of my presentation is to equip you with practical framework and real world insights so that you can apply these methods in your research, startups, or even industry collaboration. So, okay. So the outline of my presentation, so is it will cover several key areas. That is introduction to healthcare innovation. So why basically innovation is critical in healthcare and the current landscape of healthcare technology. And then I'll discuss about concept development, how we go from identifying a problem to structuring a solutions. And then we will move to prototyping in healthcare. So basically the different types of prototypes like rapid prototyping technique and testing methodologies. And then the scaling and implementation, how we validate, iterate, and ultimately bring solution to the market. And then I'll discuss about some case studies and future trends. This will be a lesson from successful healthcare innovation and the role of AI, digital health and new technology. So by the end of today's presentation, you will have structured approach for innovative in healthcare from concept to final implementation. And yeah. Okay. So let's begin by understanding the broader healthcare innovation landscape. So the healthcare industry is, undergoing a technological revolution, and this is driven by digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and the medical advancement. So basically, despite these advances, there are still challenges in patient care, and that is cost, efficiency, and accessibility. So innovation is not about, technology. It is about creating practical, scalable solutions that address real healthcare needs. So today we need solutions that are efficient, cost effective, and improve patient outcomes. So there are key areas of innovation include like telemedicine in digital health, that is, remote healthcare solutions. And then AI powered diagnostic, that is faster and more accurate disease detection. And then wearable health technologies like continuous health monitoring we have, and personalized medicine and genomics that tailor treatment based on genetics. So, but before we develop solution, we must first understand why concept development matters. So basically, concept development is a structured process of turning an idea into a viable healthcare solution. So many innovative ideas fail because they lack a clear problem definition. So user involvement or regulatory alignment, a well-structured concept development process will ensure the outcome of the any concept development. So basically what the process is, if we talk about the development process, the concept development process, so basically the fourth thing is very important. If we, the first one is the patient safety and better outcome, which is the solution, and that should improve healthcare delivery and reduce error. And the next is cost and resource efficiency. So basically innovation should be affordable and scalable. And the third is regulatory alignment. So basically the compliance means, if we see the compliance with bodies like FDA, EMA, or CD, SCO. So these are the basically bodies which regulate. And the last and very important is multidisciplinary collaboration. So we have to involving doctors, engineer, designer, and end user from the beginning. So this is the very important, the concept development process. So basically the journey of healthcare innovation follows a structured process. As shown in here in this figure, you can see the problem identification, which clearly define what issues we are solving, and then need analysis. So basically we gather user requirement through interviews, survey, or data, and then concept generation and feasibility assessment. So we generate multiple ideas and test their feasibility. Then prototyping and testing. So we develop early models to validate concepts. And then we go for the validation and refinement. So basically we conduct trials, user testing, and regulatory approvals. So this process ensures that an idea is not just innovative, but practical, scalable, and clinically relevant. So these are the basically important thing we need to know. And when a great innovation start with identifying the right problem. So very important, the problem is. So many healthcare solutions fail because they are built around assumption rather than the real world needs. So what are the methods for identifying the problem? This is very important. And how we can get the problem identification. So first we go for the literature review, and we understand the existing research gaps. And then we go for the stakeholder interviews. So engaging doctor, nurses, and patients. Then we just go for the interviews. And after that, we go for the patient surveys. So gathering insight on pain points and unmet needs. What are the needs required? So we just get the survey from the patient. And the last is empathy map and journey maps. And it visualize patient experience to uncover hidden problems. So once we have identified the problem, the next step is to generate solutions. And this stage involves technique like brainstorming. So basically it encouraging diverse ideas from different stakeholders. And then we design thinking sprint. And what it is, basically it is a rapid iterative ideation cycles. And then we go for the hackathon. And this is bridging together multidisciplinary team for fast problem solving. So at this stage, we focus on quantity first and then quality. So divergent thinking helps in exploring multiple possibilities before converging to the most promising ideas. So if we go for early feasibility assessment, So not every idea is feasible. So before investing resources, we conduct feasibility assessment. So what are these? So basically technical feasibility. So can it be developed with existing technology? Then we go for the clinical feasibility. So we just ask, does it fit into real world healthcare workflow? Then we go for the financial feasibility. So what are the cost and funding requirements? So for example, a portable ECG device, everyone knows about the ECG device. So a portable ECG device might seem like a great idea, but if hospital cannot integrate into their existing system, it will fail to the adaptation. It will be failed to be adopted. So this is a challenging task where we just go for the early feasibility assessment. So the next is navigating regulation in healthcare. So healthcare solution must comply with strict regulation. So regulatory approval means it what we say that it vary based on the risk level. So what they have decided, like different approval, like a class 1. So basically if we just define the medicine like a class 1, so these are the low risk devices like a digital thermometer. If we go for the devices, similarly we have a medicine, and we have divided means different like FDA, EMA, and any other regulatory bodies. They have divided medicine also, and they have divided the devices. So in the part of devices, if we go for the class 1, so it is like a low risk devices like a digital thermometer. Okay. And class 2, if we go for, then it is a moderate risk devices like infusion pump. And then class 3, it is high risk devices like implantable pacemakers. So it is crucial to engage regulatory bodies early to avoid roadblock later. So it is very important. So now if we go for the prototype, so why prototype is required? So a prototype is basically a preliminary version of the product that helps test functionality and gather feedback before full scale production. So in healthcare innovation, prototyping is essential to ensure that solution meet clinical needs and regulatory requirements before mass development. So why do we prototype? So first, if we see the different steps, so fast learning, why prototype? So fast learning, because prototyping allows us to identify flaws early and improve the design. Then stakeholder buy-in, basically doctors, patient, and investor are more likely to support an idea if they can interact with the tangible model. So the next is cost reduction. And if catching error in the prototype phase prevent expensive redesign later, so it is very important. And then iterative improvement, like the process flow cycle, prototype, test, refine, and repeat. And this iterative improvement is the main key for the any prototype. Like if we see some example, like before launching an AI powered diagnostic tool, developers create a simple interface prototype to test if doctors find it user friendly before building the full software. So this is the idea actually. So the types of prototype, level of fidelity actually. So we just categorize by the level of fidelity. So prototypes vary in complexity, depend on the stage of development. And if we have a low fidelity, it means the basic sketches, it is like mock-ups or wireframes, and it is quick and inexpensive, and it used for brainstorming and early feedback. And then the next is mid fidelity, and this is the clickable wireframes and basically partially functional UI, user interface, or 3D printed model used for design validation and user testing. And next is high fidelity, and it is fully functional model with real material and features. So it is used for the final testing before production. Like if we see one example, a wearable ECG monitor that start a paper sketch, means low fidelity, then a 3D printing model that is mid fidelity, and finally a fully functional prototype with sensors. So this is high fidelity. Okay. So rapid prototyping technique. So speed matters in healthcare innovations. So rapid prototyping technique helps bring ideas to life quickly. So like 3D printing and laser cutting. So it is used for medical devices like prosthetic and implants. And then low code or no code software tool. So basically we use for digital health apps and telemedicine platforms. And then simulation platform. So this is used for test new hospital workflows in a virtual environment. And if we see any example, like a custom 3D printing prosthetic limb can be designed and printed within the hours, and it is allowing quick adjustment based on the patient feedback. So this is the rapid prototyping technique. Okay. So prototyping is crucial for digital health application, and it ensuring user-friendly interface and smooth functionality. So basically tools like Figma, Sketch, Excel, Marvel, they use these type of tools. And the focus area like user flow means ensuring a smooth navigation, and then interface clarity, so making user interface initiative, and data visualization, so basically presenting health metrics clearly, and testing method is very important. So we use remote usability test, A/B testing. So like a mental health app is first designed using wireframes in Figma, then tested for usability, and then coded based on user feedback. So this is the workflow. And if we just go for the prototyping for physical medical devices, so medical devices require physical prototyping to test, ergonomics, safety, and durability. So material and ergonomics, that is ensuring comfort, sterility, and usability. So functionality and testing is basically we are just go for the taking sensors, electronics, and mechanical parts, and then we go for the lab testing, that is bench test and stress analysis for durability. So like a new insulin pump in 3D printed for ergonomics testing before sensors are added. And the next is prototype in clinical workflow. So beyond device and apps, we can just prototype entire healthcare workflow to optimize the efficiency. And for this, a system level prototype is essential, like simulating hospital workflows and patient journey. And then we use tools like a simulation lab, process map, or VR environments. And this is very important, like a virtual reality environment is necessary here. And then goals like what identify inefficiency, reduce error, and enhance patient experience. So basically a hospital simulates a new emergency department layout using a virtual reality to test if patient wait time decrease. So that is why it is important. And then we just go for the stakeholder engagement. So successful healthcare innovation involve key stakeholder at every stage. And it is like basically key stakeholders in the whole process are basically patient and clinician. So they ensure real world usability. And then a nurse and administrators, what they use help integrate solution into workflows. And then regulator and investor, and they provide compliance and funding insights. So basically method of engagement, if we see, so the regulatory feedback sessions, co-creation workshop involving end users, and it is like a smart inhaler company conduct workshop with asthma patient to refine device design. And this is the case, like how people do the workshop in different company in these fields. So Here, the another thing is the human factor and usability. So prototype must be designed for easy or easy of use, and this should be reducing error and improving user satisfaction. This is very important. So for this, what we do, like a human factor, that is ergonomics, initiatives control, minimal cognitive load, and then we go for the usability testing. And here, evaluation, different type of evaluation we just perform, and then think aloud protocols, and then we go for the impact, like reduces medical error and increase absorption rate. So it is like a new glucose meter is tested by a diabetic patient to ensure easy of use before commercialization. Okay. Yeah. So healthcare prototypes go through multiple refinement before becoming market ready. So what we do, like agile approach. So here 4 or 5 steps we take, like plan, then prototype, then test, then learn, and then refine. So basically, the metrics to track are errors rate, usability score, clinical outcomes, and the last is continuous feedback loop. So improving until goals are made. So basically, telepath, like we just go, if we see the example, like a telehealth platform that is tested in a small clinic before national rollout, ensuring smooth functionality. So this is the example for the iteration and refinement. So next is validation and clinical trials. So prototype must be validated through real world testing before full scale production. So there are different type of validation, like a pilot studies. So basically small scale validation in real world environment, and then randomized control trials, that is RCTs, and this require for high risk medical devices, and then key endpoint like a safety, efficacy, and cost effectiveness. So basically, a new AI-based cancer detection tool undergoes a pilot study with 500 patients before approval. So this is the means a very important steps, like where we do a validation and clinical trials. So another thing, the data collection and analytics. So if we see, the data is, data is very important nowadays. So if we see everywhere, the people have data, it is very important in any industry. If you see like nowadays, OpenAI, ChatGPT, or any other AI application, so they are just based on the data. If you have a large data, you will be a very big company in the market. So everything is related to the data. Whatever you have a lot of data, you can just go for its analysis, and you can get a good result for that. So data is crucial in improving prototypes and guiding healthcare decisions. So what we do, so basically the quantitative matrices like performance, response time, usage statistics, and then we go for the qualitative insights. So patient interviews, focus groups, and then we go for the feedback loop, like data informed continuous design improvement. So like an AI powered ECG scanner, it is refined based on the doctor feedback on accuracy and usability. So this is the importance of data collection and analytics. So then after that, we go for the intellectual property, that is IPR, and then protecting healthcare innovation ensures long-term sustainability and market success. Like there are different forms of API in healthcare. So if we see like a patent, trade, even in any field, like not healthcare, so in any field, we just go for the different IPR, like a patent, trademarks, trade secret, and a strategy like early IP consultation, then NDAs, and freedom to operate searches, And like suppose we have a novel wearable biosensor which is patented before commercial production. So this is the steps where we just go for the IPR. Then the budget and resource allocation, like healthcare innovation require funding and smart resource allocation. So the sources like a grant, investor, partnership, and crowdfunding, it is source where we can just grab the funding. And the key cost is prototyping material, testing, and software tools. Then planning, like a milestone for fund release and progress tracking. Like we have a startup developing AI assisted radiology tools, and this secures funding from venture capital firms. So this is a very important part in any innovation, like a budget and resource allocation. Then building materials team. So the innovation, if we do any innovation, so innovation basically succeed when experts from different domain collaborate, because that is why people always, say multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and this type of, keywords coin in nowadays. And the thing is team composition. So which type of team we require? So like clinician, engineers, designer, and business leader. And they are basically for the healthcare innovation, we need such type of team. And then the communication, where we just share our terminology, regular meeting we do, and we make a consortium, and we just share the MOM, like a meeting of minutes, and was just we see, expert opinion, and then and the project management tools. This is a very important, and then we go for the synergy, like each discipline brings unique expertise. And if we see as an example for the building a multidisciplinary team, so a wearable ECG monitor project undergoes like include whatever, like a doctor, software engineer, and hardware engineer. So this type of team we require to each stage. If we see the case study, like any how the healthcare innovation developed. So basically a low cost diagnostic device. So let's explore a real world case where concept development led into breakthrough healthcare solutions. So this is the problem. What was the problem actually? So basically the problem was lack of basic diagnostic in rural areas. And it is then we just go for the approach, like a paper-based prototype that is a very simple and low-cost design. Then we go for the 3D printing iteration that is tested for durability and usability. And then we just go for the field testing, and this is deployed in clinics for real-world evaluation. And then we go for the outcome. And outcome, if we see what are the outcomes of this, this low cost diagnostic device. So first we go for the lower cost, like it is more affordable than traditional lab test. We have to prove. And then faster diagnostic, like it is, reduces patient wait times. Then scalability, and they just showed like expanded production to reach more communities. And these are the basically outcomes just we claim in this low cost diagnostic devices. So first we go for the problem, then we just go for the approach, and then we just find the outcomes what we have to claim. Next we go if another case study, like mobile health application for chronic disease. So how let's look, it's like a real world example of how prototyping led to successful healthcare innovation. So in this case, a mobile health application was designed to help patients with chronic disease like diabetes or hypertension manage their condition more effectively. So what are the steps here? So first we go for the low fidelity prototyping. As I already mentioned, the steps like low fidelity prototyping. The team started with wireframes, and what they do, basically they basic sketch of the application interface to map out key feature like symptoms tracking and medication reminders and virtual consultation. Then we go for the second step, that is usability of testing. And early user feedback revealed that patient found it difficult to navigate multiple menus. So based on this, the design was simplified before coding began. And then we go for the step 3, that is beta release and feedback. So a working version of the app was launched with the real patients, and then continuous feedback helped refine feature like notification for missed medication. And then we go for the final output, like final what we have, the final outcome. So the result, the application led to increased medication adherence and reduced emergency room visit. And this case highlight the importance of testing idea early to ensure real world impact. And we have also patent in the mobile application. So means last year we had a patent. So if we go for the common pitfalls and lessons, so while prototyping accelerate healthcare innovation, there are common mistakes to avoid. So what they are? So basically the over engineering. Sometimes what happen, people like a team build overly complex solution with too many features, and they keeping it simple ensures usability. And the another thing is ignoring user input. If the product does not align with the real world need, it will fail. And this is like engaging clinician and patient early prevent this. So if we see the very important thing that is underestimating regulatory challenges. So rather than going for the different regulatory bodies like healthcare innovation, it certainly it must be require a compliance with strict regulation like FDA or CE marking. And the key insights is fail early, fail cheaply, learn quickly. And this is prototyping help prevent expensive failure down to the road. So if we see this different devices nowadays, what the people like uses. So basically the telemedicine, right now what are the telemedicine? It is basically a prime example for how healthcare innovation can improve accessibility. So it is like a future of remote healthcare. So telemedicine, if we see just definition of telemedicine, it refers to remote healthcare services using digital communication. And this is if we see the real world impact, that is the patient can consult doctor without traveling. And this reduce the burden of hospitals, like we have to go every day, like people from the hospital every time for the appointments, and you need to go hospital. So rather than this, we just remotely access everything what is going on. And then market growth, like the global, if we see the telemedicine market, it was valued about $40 billion in 2020, and it is projected to reach $431 billion by 2030. And it is growing from the at 25.9% CAGR. So basically during the COVID-19 pandemic, telemedicine allowed millions of patients to receive care from home, and it is highlighting its necessity. So this is very important. So what telemedicine does and don'ts. So if we see like what it it use a secure and a compliant platform to protect patient data, and this ensure a clear communication to build patient trust. And it offers also remote monitoring devices like smart watches are wearable for real-time data collection. And what it don't. So it avoid using unsecure platform like regular phones calls for sensitive discussion, and it do not conduct appointments while distracted, like example while traveling. So it do not conduct appointment. So if we see the next data driven healthcare, this is the future of healthcare lies in data. So the more we just leverage real time insights, the better patient outcome we can achieve. And this is depends on the predictive analytics, like AI can analyze patient data to predict disease before they occur and then reduce their cost. Like a hospital using data driven system save money by preventing unnecessary procedures. And market growth, if we see the global big data in healthcare market is expected to reach $70 billion by 2025. Okay, so the next is big data in healthcare, and this is high risk. Like if we just categorize this figure, if you see, so that is a high risk patient care. So what it is basically, AI identify which patient need urgent attention, and then the error prevention. Then basically automated system prevent medication errors, and then the cost reduction. So hospitals save millions by optimizing resources. And then you can see the innovation. So AI speed up drug discovery and medical research. So this is basically the flow chart of big data in healthcare, how to handle in the industry. Now, if we see the data-driven healthcare, just a minute. Yeah. Again, if you see this field, this is very important. I just forget to mention, like, it is a part of nanotechnology, and it is transforming healthcare by enabling, ultra precise drug delivery and diagnostic. So if we go for the nanomedicine, it involves using nanoscale material like a nanoparticle, and it is for targeted drug delivery and disease detection. So if we see the example, like a nanoparticle can deliver chemotherapy directly to cancer cells and minimizing damage to healthy tissue. And the current applications are a nanoparticle in cancer therapy and nano implant for controlled disease drug release. Yeah. So the next device in healthcare that is very important, it is 5G. It is revolutionizing means healthcare by enabling real-time data transition and remote surgery. So faster data transfer, like a doctor can receive a large medical scan like MRI or CT scan instantly. And the another thing is the low latency, like a surgeon can just perform robotic assisted surgery remotely with zero lag. And the impact is it reduces waiting times for critical procedures. So what we do, another impact, if we see the 5G enabled device in healthcare, is increase efficiency. And the increased efficiency of digital health solution like AI assisted diagnostics. So this is important for the future, and people are using these things, and these are the markets in the healthcare, and that is why I am just explaining these terminology and these devices. So okay, now we just go for the tricoders. So it is basically digital technology in healthcare. So imagine a single device that can scan your body and diagnose disease instantly. So this is tricoder, and this is very interesting. Like the tricoder handle medical scanner and that analyze vital sign and detect disease within second. And the market growth of this tricoder is expected to grow from $2.4 billion, and this is in 2020. And now it is expecting like 2027 it could be $3.3 billion. So in the future, a doctor might simply scan a patient and instantly diagnose an infection. And that is the, this tricoder, how it is important in the upcoming future. If we see the another thing, that is healthcare's digital assistant and the AI powered chatbots, like a robot. I'll explain later on what is the chatbot. So basically, AI powered chatbots and virtual assistants are helping healthcare provider and that manage patient care more efficiently. And the chatbot can answer basic medical queries, and this reducing doctor workload. And another thing, like a voice assistant, and what it does, so basically voice assistant remind patient to take medicine and monitor symptoms. So every time we just forget to take medicine, whatever doctor assisted, so rather than the doctor, suppose if a doctor and robot, means a person and robot, these type of assistant, that is chatbot. I'll explain what is the chatbot later on. But the thing is, if such type of robot we have, and this is suggesting to take medicine, and this monitor your symptoms every time, and this send data to a doctor, and doctor is also seeing everything what is going on with the patient. So it is very helpful. So the stat what says about the healthcare in digital assistant is 75% of people use digital assistant for medication reminders, and 72% monitor their health using AI powered apps. And everywhere in the smart devices you can see such type of alarming devices are now people are building, like a smart watch or any other thing, whatever you are seeing. So these type of wearable technology and AI powered application, they just put into that. And the next is, if we go for the device, that is smarter pacemaker. So pacemaker are now AI powered. So this is allowing real time heart monitoring. So what is the difference between traditional pacemaker and smart pacemaker? So you can understand how the innovation and the concept people think about. So basically, traditional pacemaker just regulate heartbeat, and the smart pacemaker that connect to app and then send alerts if the problem is detected. So that is why this is smart. And then if we see the real world example, like a patient's pacemaker detected and abnormality and alerts their doctor, and this preventing a heart attack. So this type of things, it is very important, and that is why the need of AI in this field in healthcare. So now I was talking about the wearable technology and wearable devices. So wearables are making healthcare more accessible by just tracking real time health data. So like example, if we see the smart watches, and this is for heart rate monitoring. And now people many people just a lot of devices, smart watches, and they show other than like heartbeat and heart rate, blood pressure, sugar, and everything what they just shows, and many things are just integrating day by day in these smart devices. And then another thing is wearable ECG monitors, and it is for just detecting arrhythmias. And another device, if I just remind, like smart jackets, and that measure lung function in asthma patients. So basically the impact of these devices, these wearable devices, are patient can detect health issues before symptoms appear. And this is the benefit of these type of devices. So, okay. Sorry. So if we see the healthcare industry, this is basically a digital trends. The future of healthcare is being shaped by emerging digital technologies that enhance diagnosis, treatment, and patient care. So the key trends leading this, transformation include artificial intelligence, virtual reality, medical IoT, and robotics. So what it does, basically, artificial intelligence means automating diagnosis and predicting, we say, disease and personalizing the treatments. And the virtual reality, that is basically enhancing medical training, therapy, and surgical simulations. And if we go for the medical Internet of Things, that is connecting devices for real-time patient monitoring. And then the robotics, it is just revolutionized, means if you see, this is the one of the revolution, that is surgeries and automating these repetitive healthcare tasks it will perform. So this is very important in healthcare industry. People are just going for the digital trend. Now, if we see the artificial intelligence in healthcare, so basically AI is one of the most powerful tool that is transforming modern healthcare. And AI-driven diagnostic, if see, AI can detect diseases like cancer and faster than the human doctor by analyzing medical images. So now you can see, any chatbot or any, AI software. So how it is fast, how it is now people are, scientifically doing scientific analysis or coding or any other things on the AI tools. So what, and they are giving citation, references, bibliography, everything. So this type of scientific, and if you compare the human and AI, so the timing and the fast analysis it does, and the people are doing, accuracy and efficiency of these AI technology. So this is also important in the diagnostics. And because if we want to just see as a layman, suppose I am not good, in reading the our diagnostic images or medical images. Suppose I had a scan or ultrasound or any other things, and I am unable to just see what it is going on with my image. Just you need to put in the AI and just ask what are the diagnostics, and people are doing on this type of AI softwares, like how we can just detect disease like cancer or other diseases. And then the predictive analytics. So this AI predict which patients are at high risk for condition like stroke or heart disease based on the medical history. So this predictive analytics is very important in the artificial intelligence in healthcare. And the treatment optimization. So what AI will suggest? It will suggest personalized treatment plans based on the patient data. So whatever data we will upload there, and it will suggest our our treatment plans. And suppose if we see one example like a Google's AI system, and this detected breast cancer in mammogram, and this better than the radiologist, and this reducing false positive and negatives. So this is important of artificial intelligence in healthcare. Now, if we just see the virtual reality, and it is a technology that is creating immersive experience for medical training and treatment. So medical training means a surgeon use virtual reality to practice complex procedures before operating on real patients. And then the patient pain management. So basically, virtual reality distract patients from pain during a procedure like wound dressing. And then exposure therapy. So basically, it treats PTSD and phobias by simulating control environment. So virtual reality therapy help burn victims manage pain without medication by immersing them in calming virtual world. So this is very important. Like otherwise, you need to take a injection sometimes of for thing. So rather than injection, we can go for the virtual reality therapy. This will help to manage pain. And now, if we go for the medical internet of things, so basically it will connect smart devices that continuously collect and analyze patient data. So basically, remote patient monitoring. So wearable devices track heart rate and blood pressure and glucose level in real time. So if we go for the smart hospitals, so we can see like what should be the smart hospital. So basically it is a sensor monitor patient movement, and it will just alerting nurses if a high risk patient just falls, So AI powered automation will be just come up into that, like IoT devices just notify doctor if patient vital becomes unstable. So like if heart failure patient wears a smart watch that detect irregular heart rhythm and alert their doctor before a crisis occur. So this type of alert is important, and it will just play by the medical internet of things. Then the robotics in healthcare. So what it will be, basically robot system are just transforming surgeries and automating routine tasks. So like a surgical robot, a system like the Da Vinci robot, and it will allow a surgeon to perform precise, minimally invasive operations. And if we just see the automated pharmacy robots, so dispense medication accurately, reducing human error. Like if you go for the any pharmacy store and just you ask, just give me paracetamol. So rather than the human, like we just think about where is the paracetamol there. So what the robot will search, like if there will be a robot rather than the human, this will search where is the paracetamol, and it will bring faster rather than the human. So this is important. And then means the every pharmacy means will be the automation, and this is by the robots. And then the AI powered assistance, like a robot help in elderly care by assisting with mobility and reminder. Like in Sweden, if we see a lot of people are old, and we need to care of like doctor advice to some person, like some nurse or any other staff, to take care of the person, the older person, and what the work of that person is just to remind, just take medicine, just this is the time for walk and you have to go for walk, and we pay for that a lot, just for assisting this type of things. So rather than a person, we just go for the robot, and this will assist everything. And robotics, if we see the robotic assisted knee replacement surgery, and it will just improve precision and reduce recovery time. So this type of like how accurately this will do. So basically the robot will do a surgery, and if the means accuracy and efficiency will be better, so it will go beyond that time and accuracy, and it will be more helpful than the human care. Yeah, now it is cobots, what I was talking about, the collaborative robots. So unlike traditional robots, collaborative robots work alongside human rather than replacing them. Like robot, what it was doing, it is just replacing the person. But the cobot, it will work with the human. So how it will work? Basically, it will be just, and it is how it, why it is important. This is safe to work with, and it is designed with sensor to avoid harming humans. And this is a very cost effective, like cheaper and easier to integrate than large scale robotic system. And this is flexible and adaptable, like used in hospital, rehabilitation center, and elderly care. Cobot assists nurses in lifting patients and reducing strain and preventing workplace injuries. So this will be the work of cobot. Okay, so what are the future trends in healthcare innovation? So if we see the AI-driven prototyping, so AI will generate and test prototypes digitally before physical development, and then extended reality, like augmented reality will overlay medical data during surgeries for better precision. And digital twins, that is virtual models of organs or entire patient, will help in treatment simulations. Then the personalized medicine, the AI driven drug development will create treatment tailored to an individual's genetic profile. And yeah, so now I am coming to the conclusion. I think I am early, or yeah, so we will take the question answer if it is possible. So yeah, so the conclusion, like healthcare innovation thrives at the intersection terminology, like empathy and science. So keep iterating. You know, the best solution come from continuous testing and refinement, and then engage the stakeholders early. So patient and regulator must be involved from the start. And this priorities means what will be the priority will be the real world needs. So if innovation should solve real problem, so not just create new technology. And then the leverage like AI and automation. So the future of healthcare will be smarter, faster, and more efficient. So thank you for your time. I welcome any question. I just stop sharing.
Thank you, sir. If anyone has any question, please turn on your mic and you may ask.
Please turn on your cameras also so that we will take picture with our speaker.
I request everyone to please turn their cameras on so that we can have a photo session.
In between, you may ask questions with sir.
Okay, if you have not any questions, so basically I'm just writing my email number, and I'm currently working on the one of the European Commission project that is from the European Research Grant Agency, and that is related to the API, active pharmaceutical ingredients, and it is related to how we can make a smarter medicine. So, like if you anyone related to collaboration or anything, whatever you need, like postdoc fellowship or anything related to how to write a project proposal, I will certainly help to you, and I'll send. And I think Rima, ma'am, Dr. Rima has already my email number, so you can just contact her.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chandra has raised question.
Yeah.
And Mr. Chandra?
Hi. One quick clarification. General industry projects or any research projects, okay. How many percentage of projects follows design thinking process at this moment?
It depends, like where you are just searching. Like in the European Commission project, if you see, like it is design and thinking like a 5%. And if you see like amid some other funding agency, like so depending on the commissions, like in India, I don't know how much percentage it is, but the European Commission, it is like a 5 to 10% are related to the design and thinking. And
Because
industry.
because I
Okay.
start hearing this terminology from since 2018. I come from typical development environment where traditional processes are being followed. Okay, but some of the concepts being used here, brainstorming and ideation, those things, still they are there as a part of requirement analysis process, and this one actually. So yeah.
In the European Commission project, if you see, like every project proposal is a consortium based. So you need to go for the brainstorming. You have to go for the multidisciplinary project. So it is not like any one person can do everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, so concept design and thinking, like these type of related project. And in healthcare it is like 5 to 10%, but if we go for the other section, and this will also involve in the other field also, like if I am person of energy, but I get project related to healthcare, so you can imagine like how I can get related to the healthcare. So it depends how you are just you presenting yourself, as well as how the interdisciplinary people are working with you, and what is your part and what is the other part. So it depends on them rather than the individuality.
Okay, so the training part is okay, but when it comes to the person used to the terminology and following the defined process for design thinking, usually how long it will take? Is it 6 months project? That should be okay for effectively using the terminology and this one, or we need to complete one project, then only we can see it's like more effective. Yeah,
You
based on
mean,
your understanding and
you
experience.
mean what the up to the project submission, from starting to project submission, what it will take time?
For
What?
someone who is new to the design thinking process, okay, he wants to use it to that. So, what is that cycle required to use it to the terminology and effectively implementing that?
It depends. Again, it depends on the person, like and what the collaboration are, what the interdisciplinary person people are there, and if the brainstorming session is started, so you will see like 1 or 2 months after several meetings, after several consortium meetings, you will be able to understand everything what is going on, and you can understand everything. So 1 or 2 months is enough to understand everything.
Okay, thank you.
And it depends on the meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Does anyone have any other question, please?
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, please.
In your presentation, you have talked about AI-based breast cancer detection, which is more uh, beneficial to the medical fraternity as compared to the image-based analysis, like a medical image-based analysis by the radiologist. So could you please explore this concept?
See, what is AI based, like what I said, like AI based cancer detection? It is, pre-stage. And this project basically involved developing a system that uses artificial intelligence to just identify cancerous tissues, yeah, cells from medical data. Like if we have images or biomarker or patient record, so like first we just go for the objective, like early and accurate cancer detection to improve patient outcome. And then
Right.
like what data can like specific focus is. So basically we just decide the type of cancer, and this is
Mm-hmm.
maybe, yeah, breast cancer, lung, skin, prostate. So what AI will do, just it efficiency and efficacy will be high, and it will just detect the method, like which method we need to go, like imaging, genomic data, or pathological side. So then the collect prepare data, and then basically we gather high quality data for training and testing your AI model, and then we will choose an AI model. After that, we will just go for the AI model, and we select appropriate AI architecture, like
Mm-hmm.
common models, like that is convolutional neural network, that is CNN. And this is basically for image based cancer detection. And then we just go for the another method is RNN, like recurrent neural network, and this is for sequential data, like patient history or genomic sequences. Then the transformers, like for complex data set requiring that is feature extraction, and then develop the detection system. So these are the step, and then evaluate performance and deploy the model. So and then monitor and improvement. So these AI system can do everything related to that. So rather than human care, it will be fast.
Mr. Sompal has raised his hand.
Good
You may
evening,
ask
sir.
your question.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for a very nice presentation, sir. Sir, I am basically a pathologist from a hospital at New Delhi, and
Mhm.
we are developing a similar model by CNN method of neural network to diagnose and categorize the biopsy slides. So,
Mhm.
as you have rightly said about the radiology images, the similar
Mhm.
thing can be done on pathology slides also. So it is
Mhm.
also helpful, sir, for remote areas where pathologist is not available. So these techniques
Mhm.
will also be helpful there. Thank you, sir, for very nice presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So we just had the privilege of experiencing a truly insightful and engaging presentation on concept development and prototyping. On behalf of everyone present, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Praveen for sharing his expertise, knowledge, and valuable insights with us today. Sir, do you have any question in this group, sir?
No one, sir. This is actually very good presentations, and I good knowledge for that about that. And thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So, moving ahead, his presentation was not only informative but also deeply inspiring as he skillfully guided us through the intricacies of concept development, shedding light on essential steps that transform an idea into a tangible prototype. His insights into various prototyping methodologies were truly invaluable, leaving us all with a clearer and more structured understanding of this crucial process. The engaging discussions and thought provoking questions from the audiences were a testament to the impact of this session. Dr. Praveen patiently and expertly addressed each query, further demonstrating his deep understanding and passion for the subject. Sir, we are truly grateful for your time and effort in enriching our knowledge today. Your passion for innovation, research, and education was evident in every aspect of your talk, making it an educational and motivating experience for all of us. Once again, thank you, Dr. Praveen, for your invaluable contribution, and thank you to everyone for your active participation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
As we wrap up this insightful session on ideation techniques for healthcare solutions, concept development, and prototyping, I sincerely thank each of you for active participation and thoughtful engagement. We have explored innovative ideation methods, the importance of user centric problem solving, and how to refine ideas into practical, impactful solutions. The enthusiasm and knowledge shared here have been truly inspiring. A special thanks to our speakers, organizers, and contributors for making this event a success. Let's take these insights forward and create meaningful changes in healthcare. Until then, take care and keep innovating.
Please share email ID of Pravin sir.
Sure, ma'am. We will share it in group, WhatsApp group.
Okay. Thank you, madam.